What's good, Commanders fans, and happy Friday. We got preseason game number 2 tomorrow. Commanders versus Chiefs at 4 o'clock Eastern time. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. Hope everybody has a good weekend coming up. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Prize Picks. I just want to thank them for sponsoring this video. This video is brought to you by Prize Picks. For first-time users, all first-time users that deposit and use my promo code is RealEdOliver. You guys will receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100. If you deposit $100, Prize Picks will give you $100. If you deposit $50, Prize Picks will give you $50. So Prize Picks, you sign up. The link is down below in the description. Prize Picks basically just pick 2 to 5 players. You do over under. So the picks that I have for tonight, you got the Pats play tonight. The Panthers play tonight. So I got a couple picks for tonight to help you guys out. So PJ Walker was cutting us up last game. His over under for passing yards tonight is 125.5 passing yards. I have him over, so I picked the over for him. Matt Corral, I picked the under for him. He has his over under is 90.5 passing yards. So I picked the under on him. Tyquan Thornton, the speedy receiver for the Pats, I have him going over 23.5 catching yards. I think he had a touchdown last week. So those are my picks. Those are my plays for tonight. Also, a regular season play, they have Terry McLaurin over under 1,000 yards receiving on the season. That's a layup. I'm picking the over on that one. So those are my picks for tonight. Promo code is RealEdOliver. So when you sign up for Prize Picks, you download the app, you type in RealEdOliver, and then you guys will get that 100% instant deposit match up to $100. Same thing for $50. You'll get that match for $50 as well. So the link is down below in the description. Make sure you guys click on it and check it out. So let's get into the preseason preview here. So storylines and things that I want to see, things I want to see. Of course, the quarterbacks, Sam Howell. The reporting has been that check out my guy, Real Robinson. He just made a video. The report was that Sam Howell was taking reps with the first team. That's not true. He clarified that he has been at some of the practices. He said that Sam Howell has been with the second and third string team, but he's been playing against the first team defense. So it's not the same thing. Like, he's not out there with Terry and Jahan and Curtis Samuel. He's out there, with Calvin Harmon, probably Marcus Michelle, Dax Milne, Alex Erickson, guys like that. Throwing against the first team, which is still good. It's good that he's, going up against the first team. I like that development for him to get him ready, if he does have to play in a pinch sometime this season. And it's a part of the development process. So we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves with Sam Howell, but the young man can play, man. He can play. He's got some wheels to him too. I'm excited to see him. So of course, we want to see how Carson Wentz plays. Does he gel with the offense? Does he get the chemistry down with Jahan Dotson? Jahan Dotson didn't even get a catch. Curtis Samuel made some plays. He did get a catch. He had some running plays as well, some reverses and jet sweeps. Terry McLaurin, we want to see the chemistry grow with Terry McLaurin. As we saw in practice on Instagram as well, Carson hit Jahan Dotson for like a 45-yard touchdown bomb. So their chemistry is there in practice. But we got to see it in the games. Is Carson Wentz going to hit some deep shots down the field to Terry or Curtis or Jahan or even De'Ami or Cam Sims? Cam Sims made some really good catches this week too. Dax Milne, whoever, Marcus Michelle, who cares who it is? Is he going to connect down the field for more than 20 yards? He made some steady Eddie plays, Alex Smith, kind of checking it down, just taking what the defense gave him. And I like what Carson Wentz did. He definitely should have had a touchdown to Armani Rogers or Curtis Hargis, whoever the tight end is. Definitely should have took that route upfield a little bit more. And I think that would have been a touchdown for Carson Wentz. But I really like what he did. I like what he did. Didn't fumble the ball, didn't throw any interceptions, held on the ball a little too long for one play. But I really like what I saw from Carson Wentz. And he's a mobile quarterback. I'm not expecting him to go out there and run or anything like that. But I like the way he moved around and maneuvered in the pocket. So I just want to see the chemistry there. Now, the offensive line is really, really banged up. So Ron Rivera said, typically this is like the dress rehearsal where they do play a whole half. He said, we'll see. It's a wait and see approach, with all these guys being out. You look at the offensive line, man. This offensive line, there's a lot of guys that will be out tomorrow. Chase Rouillet, they said he may play, but Andrew Norwell most likely will be out. Trey Turner hasn't practiced in eons, it feels like. He's had rest days and whatnot. Wes Schweitzer is banged up. He may not play either. Charles Leno, he had a rest day yesterday. We'll see if he plays. Sam Cosmi's been playing at guard, so they've been having to have him play at guard. Cornelius Lucas is finally back from, not passing his physical. So other guys are going to have to step up. Aaron Martero, Willie Beavers had a really high PFF grade in the game against the Panthers. Chris Paul's going to get a lot of snaps. Keith Ishmael, John Toth may play. I already said Willie Beavers. And Sadiq Charles, look out for him too. Alex Akungbulu, Doc Walker was talking about him. I can't wait to hear Doc Walker on the broadcast again. But Sadiq Charles is going to get a good amount of snaps. He might get some snaps with blocking for Carson Wentz, so we'll see. And Sadiq Charles, he played in some games last year. He wasn't great at the tackle spot against the Broncos, but he's definitely going to get some major playing time tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So the offensive line is the thing too. Do you want to put Carson out there a lot with, shuffling offensive line and playing Sam Cosmi at the guard spot? Even though Sam Cosmi was good at guard in college, and a lot of scouts said that, he'd be better suited to play guard, is it in his best interest to play a whole first half with shuffling linemen around and, kind of maneuvering linemen around and not having, Trey Turner, Norwell, possibly Schweitzer out there, or even Chase Rhea out there? So that's the question marks there. How many snaps is Carson Wentz going to play? How many snaps is that first team going to play? Are they going to play a whole half, or are they just going to play 2 series? If they look good in the first 2 series, like let's say they get a touchdown or get in the red zone, they don't convert but get a field goal, then yeah, I'd probably sit these guys down, to be honest, or just play a quarter and see how that goes. That's what I'm thinking Ron most likely will do there. So that's just my guess. Looking at the quarterbacks too, Taylor Heineke overthrew somebody through a terrible interception. We know he can run. We know he can manipulate the pocket. We know he can escape the pocket. So we know what we're getting with Taylor Heineke. You just can't throw bad interceptions like that. So, but we know he can make something happen when nothing's there, and duck his head under. He can run. The legend Taylor Heineke. So. Sam Howell, that's who I'm keeping my eye on. I already brought him up earlier, but I want to see what he does against the 3rd and 4th string guys. Is he going to get more playing time against some of the 2nd string guys? I want to see this guy play. I want to see him play against, more than just 3rd and 4th string guys. I'm intrigued by Sam Howell. I really want to see more. He's a guy that can maneuver and manipulate the pocket, has some escapability there. He's like a bowling ball runner when he runs. Literally, he's running guys over sometimes. He did that in North Carolina. So I want to see more, man. This guy, I want to see him connect with Kelvin Harmon too. Kelvin Harmon should have caught that pass. He really should have. That was a beautiful pass that Sam threw to Alex Erickson, where he got out of the pocket and escaped. And then he threw another nice pass to Dax Milne. So I want to see him connect with Mark and Michelle, some other guys, Kyrick McGowan, Cam Sims, if he's in there with the 2nd team guys. I just want to see some more Sam Howell. I really do. I'm really intrigued. All right, so running backs. Let's move on to that. We already know Antonio Gibson. He's been returning punts, returning kicks in practice. He's been blocking on the special teams. So is he really going to return kicks tomorrow? Is Ron Rivera really going to do that? He definitely needs to, have his, be on the hot seat for that first running back spot, or for getting the most carries. And Ron's sending this guy a message, man. Antonio Gibson, I don't want to see him fumbling and looking like he's going to cry on the sidelines. He's got to step it up, man. Led the league in fumbles last year as a running back. He's super talented. The talent is out of this roof. 1,000 yards last year, 11 touchdowns the year before. We know what this guy can do, man. He's a solid receiver too, but he ran kicks back in college. He's gained some weight. He's lost some weight over the summer. So let's see what he does on special teams if Ron really does stick to what he did in practice and puts him back there. J.D. McKissick, we already know what he does. Brian Robinson, is he going to start, man? That's very telling. If he's the running back that gets the first carry on first down, it's going to be very telling, man. It really is. And I think he could end up with the most carries out of the backs, man, out of either one. Doc Walker on the radio this morning was saying that he would bet money that Brian Robinson would get the bulk of the carries, or would get more carries than Antonio Gibson. John Williams, I want to see him. Jared Patterson, of course, I'm looking at both of those guys. John Williams. And if Gibson's with the 2nd team, if it's 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, who's getting the football? Is it John Williams, or is it Antonio Gibson, or is it Brian Robinson? Who are they giving the football to in that situation? Or even with the first team, are they going to bring Brian Robinson in on a 4th and 1 or on a goal line play? Who are they going to have? That's very telling for Antonio Gibson as well. Jared Patterson, John Williams, I want to see those two guys battle it out for, that practice squad spot or whatever spot they could get after, J.D. McKissick and Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson make the roster. All right, talking about the wide receivers, looking at the back end, De'Ami Brown, I want to see him do something, make a play. Of course, Cam Sims, Kelvin Harmon, Kyrick McGowan, Dax Milne, Mark and Michelle are battling for that last spot on the roster. So I'm intrigued to see what those guys do. Matt Cole, I guess I'll throw his name in there too. Ron Rivera was pissed off at those guys returning punts or returning kicks, bringing it out of the end zone instead of just taking it to 25. So we'll see if they do better than that. Erickson looked good, man. Dax Milne looked good. So I want to see what these guys do as punt returners and kick returners as well. The tight end spot, just injuries galore. Nate Jerry, the linebacker that we just signed, had to take snaps at tight end in practice. Logan Thomas, of course, is out. John Bates is out. Cole Turner's out. Sammy Reyes is on IR. Armani Rogers is available. Curtis Hodges will not be available. Eli Wolf is going to be playing. And I forgot the other tight end who we have out there, but this is going to be Eli Wolf and Armani Rogers. And Carson Wentz loves his tight end, so look out for these tight ends. Armani Rogers has an opportunity. The former quarterback out of Ohio has a big opportunity here to make some plays, and he's going to get the football. Like Carson Wentz loves throwing to his tight end, so Eli Wolf needs to be ready as well. Nate Jerry too, I guess. Let's get to the defense here. Let's see here. So Deron Payne, John Allen, I won't really say much about, but third down, I'll just group the defense as a whole. Third down defense has to be better, man. That's on Jack Del Rio. It's on the secondary too, man. Danny Johnson didn't play well last game. I want to see him play better. Ben St. Juice, if he does play, I want to see what he does in the slot. Kendall Fuller, William Jackson, they got to communicate better as well. Cam Curl has to communicate better as well. Just the whole defense as a whole. William Jackson and Bobby McCain, they did break up that deep pass to Robbie Anderson. So that was nice to see, but as a whole, the defense just has to do better on third downs. Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, they were very comfortable and made plays on third downs to convert. And running plays, too. They were running and making 3rd and 4s and 3rd and 5s. They converted on those running the football. Pat Mahomes, of course, I think he's going to play. He did play last game. He went 6 for 7 for 60 yards. Travis Kelce had a catch for 19 yards last game. So these guys most likely are going to play. So watch out for this. Is a good test for them because Pat Mahomes, he definitely could cut them up. I know the receivers that they have are not the receivers like last year. I mean, they had Tyreek Hill, of course. But they got Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't know if he's going to play. I do like Sky Moore out of Western Michigan. I did like him a lot. Marquise Valdez-Scantling is super fast. McCole Hardman is fast. Now, of course, Travis Kelce. Who's going to be matched up against Travis Kelce? That should be a good matchup for Jamin Davis and Cole Holcomb. Same thing with Cam Curl. That should be a good matchup for those guys going up against an elite tight end like Travis Kelce. So Pat Mahomes, is he going to cut them up? He easily could cut them up for sure. We know what Pat Mahomes can do. So this is a good test for the defense. But guys on the defensive side I'm looking for is Steven Parker. He played really well last game. I like him a lot. I won't be surprised if he makes the roster. I know they just picked him up 2 weeks ago, but he did play like his hair was on fire. Derek Forrest, I want to see him, if he's playing at Buffalo nickel spot, that linebacker / safety hybrid. Same thing with Percy Butler. Christian Holmes, they just cut Troy Apke. So let's see what Christian Holmes does. It looks like he's moving up the depth chart. Channing Stribling. Jeremy Reeves had a holding play that, could have been a forced fumble. So I want to see him step it up. I thought he had a nice sack in the game, so I do want to see him step it up. He has been playing well in training camp. Farrar Gardner, I want to see more from him. Same thing with Courtney Elder and DeJuan Nils. So Milo Eifler as well. Look at the defensive end spot. Shaka Toney had a face mask at the end of the game that definitely cost him and put the Panthers in field goal range, so he has to be more disciplined. Daniel Wise was a standout, man. I want to see more of him. He definitely was a standout, and his stock went up. So I want to see his stock go up more because they could definitely use some pass rush juice there. The rookie Fedarian Mathis played really well. Boomy Martini, Shaka Toney, and James Smith-Williams. Who's going to play well with Chase Young being out? I thought those guys stepped up last year and when he was out. And that's really it for the defense. Yeah, Steven Parker, DeJuan, I really like what I saw from Steve Parker. His stock really went up. Same thing with Daniel Wise. For Darian Mathis, stock went up too. Montez Sweat, he's been chirping all practice. I want to see him get back there and see if he can get to Pat Mahomes and get a sack. Or at least look like Montez Swat. I haven't seen him swat down a pass in a couple games, man. I really haven't seen him swat down a pass like he used to in that year in 2020. Deron Payne, John Allen, we already know what we expect from those guys. David Mayo and Jamin Davis, I want to see those guys attack, communicate, and cover against Travis Kelce as well. So I'm intrigued to see that matchup there against Kelce. Joey Sly, no more missed extra points, man. I'm not going to let you off the hook. Sly guy, I like him a lot, but he's got to make some extra points for sure. So Tress Way, we already know what he can do. Punt returner, Alex Erickson, and Dax Mill, Kyrie McGowan, Jared Patterson's listed as a kick returner too. So all eyes on Antonio Gibson, man. All eyes on him, man. I don't know if there's an over-under on fumbles on Prize Picks. I got to talk to them and see if they can put that on there. Unfortunately, I don't want to joke him too much. But no, seriously, he's got to hold on to the football. He really does. He has to hold on to the football. So all eyes on, for me, I'm looking at Sam Howell, Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson, Alex Erickson, Dax Mill, basically naming the whole team. And I'm looking at the tight end spot very strongly too because we know Carson Wentz loves to use his tight ends for sure. So the Chiefs secondary, it's okay, it's not great. So you want to see Carson Wentz take some chances down the field. They got L'Jarius Sneed at corner, Trent McDuffie at corner. So they got some solid players there for sure. But Nick Bolton's a really good linebacker too. Chris Jones is a good defensive tackle. So let's see if what Brian Robinson can do in between the tackles running the football. So all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. Of course, I'm not doing a keys to victory or a score prediction or anything like that. But all right, you guys, hail to Commanders. Peace.